Hello, welcome back, everyone. Hello to those who are here, those who are not, and let's get started. So like I explained in my last video, somewhat about interdimensional beings, but this one is going to be specifically about interdimensional beings and some of their abilities. Like, I'm going to first start with Deadborns. Number one, Deadborns have multiple abilities, but they are not limited to human aspects. Like, they're not human, they don't have human limits. If they chose to, they could go faster, swim harder, like go underwater. They don't have to breathe, we don't have to eat. If we chose our Deadborn form, that's where all that comes in. We could do basically anything. We're kind of like a god, but we're not. Because we can't, for one, we can't call ourselves that. Please never worship us as gods. If you ever did, we would find that very offensive, and also we would take that into account with God himself. Like, we would go into his presence, like physically, and then we would have to talk with him about either leave. Hang on. Now, as I was saying, sorry about that again, talking to my brother, human brother. Now, as I was saying, yeah. So, Deadborn abilities are basically infinite. They can basically do anything, but they're not like interdimensional aliens like my dad's species and myself. I'm gonna explain that next. And there's gonna be, I think, either 4 or 5 parts to this. So that's gonna be in class 5 through 8. Just going over Deadborns, or as much as I can in confidentiality, because certain Deadborns have specific abilities, while others have all abilities. Now, Deadborns, on the one hand, can do almost anything that they think of, but they're not like dimensional aliens like my dad's species and myself, or the children that are like his species. Yeah, they come here to have kids, so adults, like every adult on Earth, can come to their dimension, but it takes a long time for certain kids to learn, considering if that kid remembers how to do any of their abilities, because at a young age our abilities are out of control. Because, like, that's why I'm gonna explain neurophysiology in the videos after 1 through 8 of class. So so I'm gonna explain that video next after this one, just so I can go over these 2 different races. Now, Deadborns, on one hand, are human in certain aspects. Like, technically, we don't have emotions, they're just a built in byproduct or a built in system. Like, some of our body parts are more than meaningless. If we chose to go out of our normal form, and now, okay, I know that a lot of people, if anybody is watching this, I'm not going to say if anybody is, because I don't want to assume anything, but if anybody is watching this, then they should know that Deadborns can't just turn on their Deadborn form, because, well, for one, it's hard as hell and it hurts. 2, we have a physical body. We're going to be changing everything in our body to match our actual nature and form. So we're going to be basically destroying our bodies, and it's going to take a hell of a lot to make a new one. We would have to go back to our dimension, or we would have to die, or we have to leave our bodies willingly just so we could travel back to our dimension so we can come back and create a new one, and then we have to start all over again. And the only way every deadborn can come back to the physical plane of existence is if I die. Because if I die, considering that I'm the eldest of the deadborn, because I was, the way that works is that you have to be the first deadborn created, or you have to be at least 99,99999 9,900, 99,000, 99 billion, 99 infinity, or I don't know exactly how many human years it would take to talk about that, about how old you have to be a deadborn elder, but you would have to have a lot of past lives. I would just say that, because deadborns have past lives. That's why most people remember their past lives, but some don't know that they're a deadborn. If everybody remembered their past lives, then there would be millions of deadborns around. So that's why only a select few are trained, but without knowing. In certain cases, you are allowed to know if you're a deadborn by either the mentor that is training you or by your surroundings. You gotta notice the smallest thing, like anything that is out of focus or out of sight. It's probably a deadborn. I will say that, because it deadborns can mess with humans in any way that they can think of. They're not limited like angels. We technically are angels, but we are not. Like, deadborns are a different class of angel. We are not limited like angels. Now, deadborns, what we are beings. We didn't have a body before we came here, because there were only so few deadborns when we came here. When we started having kids, on the other hand, then there became more deadborns. So any deadborn child or baby will grow up very differently. Like, we won't remember, we won't, okay, we are like in our baby form or in our baby state. We will remember most things that other babies or other adults won't, because while we're being born, we're going through horrific scenes, because we are cross. The reason our name is Deadborn, like, we don't have a specific name. When we come here, then we get our specific name, because that's what our family wants to call us. But we only know ourselves as Deadborn. The like Deadborns can become immortal. They can live forever if they chose to. Now, on the other hand, deadborns can't just show everything. We can tell you anything that we want. We don't really care what you think. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but it's true. Like, that's what some deadborns think. Like, teen deadborns or young deadborns. That's what deadborns that are above those kind of deadborns are call them. Now, there are child deadborns, which is our youngest stage. We Those type of deadborns are usually a lot more free thinking. Like, they're not in their full development yet. That's only if they're born like a human. Natural deadborns are created in the created. Like, the created is the dimension that we come from. So yeah, that's exactly where we come from. But the only thing is that there's not, like, there is a lot of things that are there, because we create anything that we choose to. So any deadborn that dies or leaves their body willingly goes there. Now, I'm gonna have to explain some of this in my next video, So I'll see you guys in class 3. Stay in the light, and always remember to meditate deeply and softly. I will see you guys all in the next video.